Do you find yourself multitasking? Multitasking, maybe it's watching a show and you're also on your phone, or you're working at work and you have a podcast or something that else that requires your attention. If you find yourself often multitasking, then you might also find yourself often in a burnout state or feeling like anxiety, your head is spinning, things of that nature. That is often something that we can title as survival mode or stress response. It's a prolonged stress response, puts you into a burnout state where we feel like we can no longer take on anything. We might start questioning the meaning of life and what we're doing, what our purpose is, and how we come out of that and begin to really enjoy life is by coming into the present moment so that we can begin thriving in life or come into this abundant mind state. So out of survival and into thrive. This is day 2 of our 10-day meditation challenge. And in this, our goal is simply that. Much easier to say than to do because it does take practice to move out of survival and into thrive, which really means coming out of procrastinating, coming out of multitasking, coming out of doubting, coming out of constantly overthinking, which typically comes from past or future thinking. And instead, we're moving into the present moment, into present moment experience. That is mindfulness. It's not to say that we're trying to stop our mind, that's more Zen. We're trying to allow ourselves to experience the present moment. And in the present moment, we might notice that we're thinking about the past. Or in the present moment, we might notice that we're planning for the future. And by being in the present moment, we can look at our thoughts and say, wow, I think about that a lot. So in the present moment, we're gaining awareness. Today, we're going to talk about, of course, trying to stop the multitasking as much as possible, but the first step in stopping anything or trying a new habit on for size is to always start with that awareness factor. So if you are multitasking, your first sense would be, oh, look at me, I'm multitasking. Okay, multitasking note 1 for the day. And then the more time you check yourself, you'll be like, wow, I am really trying to multitask a lot. I have a hard time functioning and doing one thing without multitasking. And why is that? Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow in this programming that we've given ourselves for we only function in stress response. Ooh, that's kind of a dangerous spot to be in. So today, as we talk about bringing in that awareness, and we've started working on our awareness practice yesterday, let's continue that awareness practice. It's an ongoing practice. And the moment we gain awareness of one thing, we're gaining awareness of another. This constant peeling and unwinding and unbinding. And it's beautiful because that's the present moment and that's where we are truly experiencing life. If we are caught up in our busyness all day, we're caught up in the past or we're caught up in the future, then we're technically not living in the present moment, so we're not living. You might as well be in a video game, right? It's not the same as being in the present moment and really feeling like you're experiencing. And you might have had that before, which is why you're craving it, because you might have had that moment where you felt an overwhelming feeling of love or gratitude, where you felt in the flow, where you felt like you were really living. And maybe it was just a moment, maybe it was a span in life, and you're craving that again, so you're chasing that again. But we don't gain that back by chasing it. We don't gain it back by comparing it to a previous experience. We create a new experience. We allow ourselves to experience whatever it is right here and now. So as we meditate today, allow yourself to notice whatever feelings are there. If it's a feeling of agitation or a feeling of despair, if it's a feeling of confusion or a feeling of tiredness, just notice whatever it is that you're feeling and don't judge it. Don't label it as good or bad. Just allow yourself to feel it and to watch that feeling, to watch that emotion with curiosity. With curiosity, as if you were going to explain to someone who's never felt that feeling how it feels in your body, how it feels in your mind, what that energy feels like, where that energy might feel in your body as well. Let's find our meditation seat. Again, I encourage you to sit on the floor. However, if that's not available to you, by all means, sitting in a chair is equally as beautiful. If we sit on the floor, we can start to regain posture and work on building up those muscles. But again, that might not be available to everyone. So start where you're at, honor your body, and just allow yourself to practice. There is no good or bad or judgment within this practice. So finding your seat, your meditation seat. If you are in a chair, then your feet are on the floor. Allow your hands to rest in your lap with the palms facing up. This allows the chest muscles and area to just release. And then we're relaxing the neck, relaxing into the spine. And just begin to notice your posture first. Are you leaning a little bit more to one side than the other? Are you leaning forward or back? Are you arching or rounding in a particular area of your spine? And moving from the physical to the breath, notice your breath, the inhale and the exhale. Just notice where your breath is first without changing. Just notice your breath. Notice where you feel your breath the most in your body. Currently, where your breath is, just notice if it's short, it's shallow, it's long, or it's deep. Does your breath feel comfortable? Does it feel confused? Again, neither one is right or wrong, it just is. And we can tap back into our awareness of our body. Notice if your shoulders have started to come up, you can lower them back down. Notice any tension that you've brought in as you're trying to control the moment. We're letting go of our need to control, our need to do more. In this moment, we are doing nothing except being here. In this moment, we have nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be, just here, just now. So we tap back into the body, and then we tap back into that breath, noticing the breath. Notice any thoughts of, this is hard, this is difficult, or this is easy. Maybe you're questioning why you're doing this, or you're judging yourself for not doing it more. Notice any of those thoughts coming in, bring awareness to them, and then let them go. Feeling your in, feeling your out. Notice any tension in the body. Notice the breath. Often when tension comes back into the body or the breath changes back to habit, generally we've gone into habit, which means we can also go into habitual thinking. So notice where the mind is. Notice how you're feeling. How you're feeling in this moment, how you've been feeling today. Notice if you feel heavy, or notice if you feel light and maybe detached. Do you feel all in your head or all in your body? And of course, maybe there's a leveling degree of somewhere in between. Does the energy you're experiencing make you want to lay down and sleep, or does it make you want to get up and go? Notice any thoughts that come in. Notice any judgments that come in. Check in with your body, any tension, any shifting. Check in with your breath. That this work you're doing here is so incredibly important. This practice is so incredibly important that by moving out of surviving and into thriving, we actually gain the ability to do more by letting go of our need to do more, by embracing doing nothing. In this moment, we are just here. In this moment, there is nothing to do, nowhere to be, no one to please, just to be here. Letting go of the past, letting go of the future. Right now is just now. Be here now. As you continue to scan your body and then scan your breath, check in with that energy, with the emotions, with the feelings. Notice if you feel a disturbance somewhere within your body. Maybe it's agitation in the hips, or in your belly, or in your chest, your throat and neck. Maybe it's in your forehead. Any desire to want to move. Or a desire to want to sleep. Notice any of these desires. And just breathe into your body. Letting it know that whatever feeling it's feeling is perfectly okay. But right now, we are sitting here, we're practicing awareness. Right now, you have nowhere else to be, nowhere else to go, no one else to please. Just practicing this very, very important thing to practice. Letting go. Noticing. Releasing. being, allowing ourselves to let go and open up so that we can open up to these beautiful emotions and feelings that are only available in the present moment. Love, hope, trust, faith, gratitude, awe, safety. Breathing into our body, noticing any tension that continues to creep in. Here we'll take 10 breaths. An in and an out counts as one. Notice you're in. Notice you're out. Notice if you feel rushed. Know that you can take this at your own pace. And after those 10 breaths, just reach your hands up. We're practicing this openness with our body. So we're just going to take a stretch. And in this stretch, you might feel your body tense just a little bit, then soften. Just continue to stretch, to open your arms wide. That classic, iconic Titanic scene. And just continue to stretch and open up. We can open up the chest. We can open up the shoulders. And then we can bring ourselves in. And just squeezing forward. Maybe you let your head drop. Take a deep breath here. Release the shoulders, lift the head, and open the eyes if you had them closed. Thank you for joining me on day 2. If you have not yet, make sure that you register in the event for this event. And by doing so, you'll have access to these recordings. If you are somewhere else and you're not within our group, make sure that you're within the group, that during this 10 days and a few days after, you'll be able to catch those recordings within the guides section, which is on that top menu. And click on guides and it will give you the recordings there so that you can access them. They will not be there forever, so if you would like to be able to have this to participate in, then by all means please register for the event. It's within Facebook itself. Thank you so much for joining me on day 2 of the 10-day challenge, From Surviving to Thriving. I'm Izzy Nally, and I will see you tomorrow.